everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day and I hope you've had a fantastic holiday season. I'm just waiting for the guy that's blowing the leaves outside to finish. So I was ready to record an hour ago and then I heard this noise in the distance getting closer and closer. So I thought I'd better stop. So I hope you've had a fantastic holiday season. I've been dying to get back to this, but I've been very busy. Now, the video that had the best response, I'm going to do a similar type of thing now. And it's a matter of deciding what you want to draw and how we're going to do it. It's all going to be patterning because this is my passion. I haven't said it's Esther from the Gold Coast, Australia. And here we go. So I've got this blank piece of paper in front of me. I've done a frame around it, just a centimetre from the edge. And let's see what we can produce. It's a little bit bigger piece of paper. So there's the top, there's the bottom. And I'll reach up to see how it's going. Yes, it's going well. And so I've done this type of thing before, but I haven't put a background to it. So we're going to put the background and the foreground. And the foreground is going to be a circular thing like we've done before. And the background we've done as well. But it went so well and it's had the best views and people liked it the best, I think. So that is what I'm going to do now. If you want to do by pencil first, please feel free to do so. And I'll show you. I don't usually do pencil first, but I'm going to show you with pencil in case you feel that that's what you want to do. So, let's say on a big section here, let's just map it out. You want a little section here, and let's say you want something like that. Might give a feel. So let's say you want to do something like that. Oh dear, that hasn't exactly got the right feel. Sorry about that. So let's say you want a feel like that, and that can come a little bit like that. Now remember, the pencil lines can be rubbed out. Let's say you have a general idea of what you want to do, and then you can start circling it. And that is what we're going to do now with your black pen, and I hope you enjoy. Let's start. Look at that. And so we have basically something that we want to go ahead with. And if you want, you can pretty it up. What I mean is anything that you don't particularly like an open space like that. So let's fill in that space. So I've just filled in that space over there. We can round this off like that. We can do that like that there. And I think we've done it. You can make, yep, I think, yep, we can do that. And I think you've got everything that you need here. And I think that is going to turn out absolutely beautiful. Before I do the background, which I will do, I'm going to rub out the pencil lines so it makes it a little bit less confusing. Make sure your pen is dry. Yes, it is. So I'm just going to rub these lines out so you can get a better idea of what your work looks like. They're looking good. Get rid of those pencil lines. Had a very, very busy Christmas. I hope you've all had a great Christmas. It was a huge party at my daughter's place. A lot of people, but unfortunately, due to the severe storms we've had here recently, there's no electricity. Now, no electricity means no air conditioning. And it's been very, very hot. So look at that nice pattern we have here. And I'm sure yours looks just as nice as mine. Look at that. That looked lovely. Now that's what I'm going to call the foreground. The foreground is curly and the background is going to be straight lines. So let's get to the straight lines. And my straight line one was just as liked as the curly one, but we're going to combine the two today. So here I'm going to do some straight lines. So you do the straight line wherever you want to. It doesn't have to be where I'm putting it, wherever you feel like putting it. Just make sure you get all the background. So the background's going to be straight lines. Turn that round a bit. And the foreground is curly lines. Anyway, so it was a very hot Christmas with no air conditioning for a while, but it did come on in a few hours. So that was good. And everybody could cool down. But it was a lovely, lovely day. Kids, of course, have the best time, Christmas time. All the presents. And I know that those less fortunate don't have the luck that we have in life, with just about everything you want, everything you need is catered for. And for those people, I'm very, very sorry for those people, because for them, life wouldn't be this easy. But I hope you're enjoying this tangle that's going to happen. So that looks like a bit of a tangle, doesn't it? So you've got your foreground and you've got your background. So what do you say we get all the hard edges now are going to be rounded. So wherever there's a point, we're going to round that. So I've done that before, and you can either do them all, or you can do the foreground or the background. Whatever you feel like doing is what you should do. I don't have any preconceived ideas as to what this is going to look like. In fact, when I tried to think of something preconceived, it was completely different to this. But for now, the foreground is that curly bit there, like that. Like a person leaning, knees up and feet. I'll just reach up to my camera to see my phone, see if everything's looking good. And I might move that up a little bit there. See if that's still okay. Yes. So I'm going to work on the foreground at first. So all the sharp points, I'm going to curve there and fill in that area. And if I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. Try not to rush, because then you just make the mistakes that you don't want to make. And if you make a mistake, it doesn't really matter, because you can always fix it up. We curl these edges here. Just makes it feel better. Very hot here on the Gold Coast at the moment, and there have been some massive storms. My gosh. The lightning has been unbelievable, with thunder appearing just a few seconds later. I was putting my bins out for the garbage collection, and I saw the lightning, so I thought, oh, I'll just stand out and watch it. But the lightning was so strong and so bright, I actually had to turn my eyes away, and I went inside. It was probably the better. You're not supposed to be outside when there's lightning anyway. I mean, if it was my grandchildren wanting to stand outside and watch the lightning, I wouldn't let them. But you know what it's like. If you want to do it, it's different. So all I'm doing is filling in these hard lines here and colouring in, filling in with your ink, pen and ink pen, and fill that in like that. So I find this work particularly relaxing, and it slows my mind down. I visited my mum in her aged care facility today. She's doing well. There's always a bit of a big effort actually to see her, because she's 103. Her mind is not always there with the present, it's in with the past. Keeps talking about her childhood, which is lovely for her. And she can remember that in great detail. But when it comes time for her to take her medication, she cannot remember whether she's taken it or not, if she remembers at all to take it. So I've got the nurses giving her medication. At first she was taking it herself. She says, I can manage myself. Fine. So that went on for quite a while. She was doing quite well. But then the nurse phoned me and said she's emptied out. It's put into little packets all the days. You know, she's emptied almost the whole week's packet. I said, oh no. I said, all right, you'll have to take over again. And just today she said, no, I want to do it myself. And I said, well, you can't. So she was quite put out by that. She didn't like it at all. I said, you can't, Mum. You can't remember to take it. And when you can remember, and you can't remember that you've taken it already, and you'll take it again. She said, oh, all right. Anyway, so every time I go and see her, I want to go home and do this so that I can slow down. Got a couple of house guests at the moment, so they've gone to the beach. Woman and her son, my niece and her son. And so that I could do this, and they wanted to go to the beach anyway. The beach would be hell in this heat. There's not much wind today. The heat is unbelievable. Isn't that looking beautiful? I love the look of all those corners filled in like that. Just looks beautiful. Because you continue with all the areas that have sharp points. You don't want any sharp points. Now this is the foreground. And the straight line area is the background. So this project is going to take a long time. So it's going to be broken down into quite a few videos. Because it's, first of all, it's bigger than what I've done before. And because I've got a foreground and a background that's both going to be done, it's going to take even longer. So I'm glad you all enjoy this work that we're doing, and I hope you're relaxing. It's all about relaxing in life instead of feeling overwhelmed. A few months ago, I was feeling quite overwhelmed with life. But since doing this, I'm fine. I've learned to relax. Whenever I feel a bit anxious, I just do this. Slows my mind right down, and it's very, very relaxing. And don't rush. See, I just rush then, and then I go out of the line. Not that there's anything wrong with going out of the line, as I keep saying. If you make a mistake, you can just fix it up. But if you rush, you'll find yourself going out the line all the time, and you don't want to be irritated by yourself. You just want to relax. This gives such a beautiful feeling. I mean, look, it just looks so nice when all of these are filled in. And imagine how nice it would look if we did the background as well. But I'm not going to do the background now because the idea is to pattern the foreground and then we'll pattern the background separately. So it's going to be a good one, but it's going to be a long one. All the patterning that I did in my diaries went down very well as Christmas presents. They all appreciated it. I gave one to Mum as well. She thinks I'm a genius. I tried to show her, but she doesn't understand the internet really. So I was showing her one of my videos, and I didn't realize that it was the one she has. So she had the diary on her lap that I'd just given her with the pattern. And when I was showing her the video, I said, "This is what I've been doing." It was the pattern, the actual diary that was in her lap. So she's looking at this hand doing patterns on my phone and looking at the diary in her hand. I said, yes, I'm doing that. You see? But she doesn't understand that. No. That's just, no, she doesn't understand. She doesn't understand the internet. If you see a picture of something, she says, when I show her video, who sent that to you? Well, nobody sent it to me. It's the internet. But the internet has no meaning for her whatsoever. So, and I cannot explain it to her. Although she does wear hearing aids, the concept doesn't make any sense to her at all. She did have a computer at some stage, quite a number of years ago, and I did an email and everything. And she thought it was great, but she didn't understand what it actually was. I got her to write an email to her nephews in Sweden, and I said, they've got it already. And she didn't understand that the concept is too foreign to her, that something that she's just typed on this machine is actually been received in another country by somebody else. So she, yeah. Anyway, she got rid of that computer. Well, we sold it to a friend of my daughter's. She just did not, the concept is too foreign to her. And you cannot explain it to her. The more you explain it to her, the more confused she is. I thought of teaching her texting, but yeah, no, I can't do that. I did show her a few texts once, and she actually typed something, but she can't grasp the fact that someone is seeing it at the same time she's writing it. If it's a chat room or something like that, she just does not understand that a person can see it at the same time as she's typing. Too strange for her. So I've given up trying to teach her the internet because she can't understand it. we've done all the sharp edges of the foreground. So that's the foreground there. It comes around like that. Oops. These two little areas here. So I think that we've got the whole thing now. I might make this a little bit bigger here. But I like these corners. They look beautiful. So I want them to be more prominent, so that's why I'm making some of them a little bit bigger. But you don't have to do that, obviously. It's your work. You do what you want, I do what I want. That's the beauty about this. It's your work, and you do it. So then what we do, oops, bit of rubber, is you fill in the foreground. After that, we'll go to the background, which is those straight lines. And then we've just got to decide what pattern you're going to put where. Now we've got a nice big area here for those opposing patterns that we did once. So I might do that here. So let's say you've got a little circle here and a little circle there. And then you're going to start patterning, doing a sort of a curved line like that. Try not to rush. And you can turn it around as you go like that. So you're just radiating around from the circle. Difficult when it gets big like this. And they look nice. And this, they're going to be at a different angle. So that was a bit confusing actually. It's not going to go that way, it's going to go that way. What happens is I'm going to fill in another line here and another one between those two. And then what the magic happens is when you start, and there's a big space there, so I don't like that space. So I might fix that space up. There we are. Now you're going to fill in alternative squares. A little bit difficult. It's the same type of thing if you did this and this, and you filled in alternative squares like that. So it's exactly the same type of thing, except that these are straight and these are curved. And we'll do some straight ones in this work, I think. But these are curved, and I see there's a big space here, so I might do another line. Where am I? There. And that one there. There's a space here. There's that little mark there. And then you just start, you choose a square and you go from there. So whichever square you choose, pardon me, I'm going to choose that one. So number 3. So I might go for one that's a little bit bigger. Choose a 5 if any of you are interested. These are the pens I use. I was given another box for Christmas. Aren't I lucky, lucky, lucky? Because it is my favourite. It is definitely my favourite. Someone's ruined that. I might cut the top off there. Anyway, faffing Esther, get to work. So there's one square. I need to use an alternate square. Don't be tempted to rush here, because although you can fix it if you fill in the wrong square, it's painful, to say the least, especially if you're fussy like me. It's bad outside. I'm just going alternate squares here. I've got visitors in the house that are going to come back from the beach soon, but so my cat, who's scared of everything and everybody, will be hiding away somewhere. I've had her for about 4 years, but as I live alone, I really don't get many visitors, so they know me, they know this house, they know the outside, the garden, and that's what she knows. I had 2, they were sisters, but the one passed away a couple of Christmases ago on Christmas Eve. So it was a bit sad. And I've got Willow left, and she's a bit of a scaredy cat. So all I'm doing is alternate squares. It's as simple as that. It may look complicated and hard, but it's not hard. It's not complicated. As long as you go slowly and you do one, leave one, do one, leave one. And it doesn't matter what pattern you do, it always, always turns out brilliant. So that's the beauty about doing these, because they always look fabulous. Oh my God, how beautiful. And you continue doing alternate squares. I had a nice response from a lady about my heaven idea. So thank you so much for that. I'll tell you what the idea was. Well, not an idea, it's just imagination. And I thought, if there's a heaven and you have to go there because you've been a good person, wouldn't it be nice if that pathway through the forest, that's what I would like, is a nice forest pathway. Beautiful trees, It's not hot, it's not cold, sun shining through trees, and it's just beautiful. And there are no mosquitoes, of course. And the forest is filled with animals just waiting for you as you go past. Oh, there's a lion. And you give this lion a beautiful big hug, saying, "Oh, I've loved you always, lion. You're beautiful." And there's a tiger. You can just go up to him and give him a cuddle. There's a snake or a spider or whatever, any animal in the world. And they're just there. They're just there. And you can cuddle them and talk to them. Oh, there's a big brown bear. Just go up and give it a big cuddle. There's a reindeer. Wouldn't it be lovely? Huh. Wow. Anyway, that's just a thought that I had one day, and I thought, wouldn't that be beautiful? So I think I'm going to paint that vision that I've had. It does get a little bit more difficult when you get to the tiny ones. I'll choose the tiny pen for the tiny areas so that I don't mess it up. Don't be tempted to fill in two at a time, but you will lose the effect and be sorry afterwards. Mm-hmm. So miss that one and do this one here. It looks lovely. And it looks better and better as you go along. I can tell you that. So enjoyable to do. the smaller pen for the smaller spaces. Just pause before you start filling in a square so that you're on the right one. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult. And if you do the wrong square, it doesn't matter. Like that. And always do something like that. Like that. Stick one in there. See, it's easy to make a mistake. I've just made one and fixed it up. So you don't have to worry. Because especially with this particular pattern, it's quite difficult. Especially when you get to these parts here. When I get to that part, I'll show you what I mean. So if you make a mistake, it doesn't really, at the end of the day, this is just a drawing that you've done, that you've created, and it's going to be beautiful. Isn't that looking fabulous? I love it. I really do. So that's the one. I don't know. Going mad. So there's the top, there's the bottom, but at the end of the day, you can turn it whichever way you like. You can have it landscape. Any way you like. Thank you so much for the new subscribers. I really appreciate it. Gives me the encouragement to carry on. Or I will carry on regardless. But it gives the encouragement to record and upload. As long as people are interested, I'll keep doing that. Please try and pass it on to children as well. I'm sure that they would really. Well, I did a grandparents' day. That's what started all of this stuff. And the kids loved it. So they were 12-year-olds. And they loved it. But the audience that this has attracted are not 12-year-olds. So sort of a more mature age, women mainly. But I've got some men. And why not men? I mean, Leonardo da Vinci was a man. Renoir and Ryan, all of them men. So men would like doing this. I don't know if they, of course, some of them would have the patience, but it would make you would have to slow down. That's the thing. You have to slow down. And that looked fabulous. Yeah, it does. Oops, I nearly filled that in, but that was wrong. So pause before you decide on a square, because it may be the wrong square. I painted a feature wall in a child's room once. It was all soccer balls. And they've got a very strange pattern. Some of the patterns have 5 sides and some have 4 sides. And they're painted different colors as well. So I painted 2 squares next to each other, same color. I was devastated when I noticed that. There's nothing I can do about it. It was a wall mural. And so I just left it. I didn't get any complaints. It still looked absolutely beautiful. The second mural I did for that house, first one was a baby room with sort of a jungle scene with palm trees and a toucan in the tree and monkeys swinging from the trees. So I was lucky enough to be contacted again by the same woman who wanted another wall done. Now you see that little square there, it's tempting sometimes. Oh, I'll just fill that in black as well. But if you don't, you'll get the pattern will be better if you leave those little sections the way they're supposed to be. So give a lovely effect when it's finished. It does take a long time. But we're not in any hurry. I'm not in any hurry. I'm feeling nice and relaxed. When I upload this video, I'll have to plug my phone in and recharge it, and for the upload and for recording more, and I may fill in another couple of areas here. Look how beautiful that looks. It really gives a beautiful effect. I do hope you're all enjoying it. just fix this outside line. Just have a little piece of paper there if your hand feels a bit sticky. You don't want to smudge your work, so put a little piece of paper there sometimes. Doesn't that look lovely? Oh, I'm excited how it's turning out. Remember, there's heaps there to do, but it's turning out beautiful. I'm going to take the thinner pen, so this is a 5, and I'm going to take the 0.05, which is smaller for these smaller areas. I know this is a big area. Yes, I know. But we're getting to the smaller areas now. You have to be quite careful. There's an example, that one there. Now, let's take it from here, I think. Whether we get the right squares filled in. Yeah. I think I made a boo-boo. Did I or didn't I? Not to worry, just fix it up. A little confusing, so I might start from here. There's the line, so that's the next square there. And that's the next corner. And then that's the next square. It gets a little confusing when you have all these curves. So just pause before you fill in a square. Make sure it's the right one. Oh, don't be in a hurry, because that's when you make mistakes like I've just done there. You can fix it. There. You're not doing that one, you're doing that one. There. Let's see. So not doing that one, we're doing that one. Not doing. See, I have made a mistake somewhere. I'm just going to fill in an edge right there. And that one there. So as long as you have a space between a solid line, then you can get away with it. That looks fantastic. Then you have a space, and that one. And if it doesn't look right, just make it look right. It's very, very easy to do. Doesn't that look fantastic? And then we have, so that's the alternative square there. Wow, I'm really pleased with the way this is turning out. And every time you do, pardon me, two like that coming in different directions, it's going to look different. And you really don't know what it's going to look like until you've actually filled in all these little squares. Doesn't that look amazing? our little grandson this morning said, he's sitting in the chair there with his iPad. He said something. I thought I heard right, but I ignored him. So he said, Granny, Granny. I said, yes. He said, effing hell. What? Yeah, effing hell. So I said to him, no, you don't say that. That's a bad word. Mustn't say that. Effing hell. He's 3. He knew it was wrong because then he laughed. He obviously gets a rise out of people. And he got a rise out of me, that's for sure. It's funny, but it's not. Such a little darling. So these take an awful long time to do. I hope you're going to stick by me and watch them all. I'll understand if you don't, though. But it's going to take a long time, these. And they look great, guys. Now I'm just going to make this look as if it belongs. By doing that. And this is not as quite as circular as I would like it to be. I'm just going to change it like that. Got to have it pleasing to the eye, but to your eye is the secret. So if you don't like your own work, then that's don't rush. Well, that's what I did then. I rushed. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Doesn't that look beautiful? Guys, look at that. Now I'm just going to fix up. I'm going to fix up first of all that. Doesn't that look fantastic? Fix that circle up there. Just do these lines here. Don't rush. I'm not telling you not to rush. I'm telling myself not to rush. Go slowly. Doesn't that look beautiful? I keep turning it this way, when in actual fact that is the bottom, but it looks as if that is going to be the top. Well, you don't know yet until this is filled in. But isn't that great, guys? Well, how long has this video been? 1 hour and 24. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate your support. And thank you so much for all the comments and the subscribers. Thank you very, very much. I hope you've enjoyed today's session. Bye for now.